Hi friends, my name is Alyssa Prettyman and this is a little self-massage tutorial for your hamstrings and your calves. And people who take classes with me frequently know that this is probably one of my all-time favorite rolling sequences because it's efficient. It gets a lot done down the back line of your legs, where if you're about to take a yoga class and do a lot of down dog or forward folds, it can be quite helpful in accessing some of those deeper forward bends and poses that pull on and ask for mobility in the back of the legs. So the tools that we're going to use today for our class are going to be two. These are yoga tune-up therapy balls. These are my preferred balls of choice. Tennis balls would be fine. If you're going to use lacrosse balls, if that's what you have available, I caution you with pressure because they don't have quite as much give as some of the other types of balls. They just, you can't change their shape, they change your shape. So just modify pressure accordingly if you're using lacrosse balls or any sort of ball that's really firm and hard. Okay, the calf and the hamstring self-massage sequence. We're going to come into a tabletop. We're going to straighten one leg out, and we're going to take one of those balls and pluck it into the back of the knee pit. Just plug it right in there. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, you may have heard, if you're a self-massage nerd like me, that deep pressure into the back of the knee is not a good thing. I don't want you to worry here. The balls start in the zone at the back of the knee, but as we clamp back, the pressure is going to go into your calf and your hamstring, I promise. This isn't pushing it deeper into the back of the knee, okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to shift towards a child's pose-like position, which means from this tabletop, the hips are going to come back a little bit. The toes might want to stay tucked under. They might want to go flat. You can choose which of those feels more interesting for you. And then in the upper body, I really just want your upper body to have as little strain as possible. So hands and knees are fine if you can relax there. I put my forearms down. You could also put your forearms on blocks or a yoga bolster or a table, whatever you have around, right? You're in your own house, you're in your own space. So as you clamp back, make sure that the weight and the pressure feels breathable. Notice that the massage tools are influencing both your calf muscles and your hamstrings and the back of your legs. Let's work a little bit with the breath here. Take an inhale, contract, and squeeze onto those balls. And as you exhale, release and relax around them. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release. And perhaps you even take an extra beat at the base of the exhale and just really notice. Inhaling to squeeze and exhaling to release. And so what we're doing is we're breathing slowly, and we're breathing in a way that tells the brain we're okay. That this sensation may be a little bit intense, but it's nothing that we would consider a threat. After a few rounds of contract and relax, start to wiggle your backside. Shift over to the right, shift over to the left. Now you could do this and then move the ball a little bit and wiggle and see if you can get just a little bit different range of sensation if you want to move the balls around, but they're still pretty kind of high and tight at the back of the knee zone there. If there's any way to further relax the muscles of your neck and face, just kind of see if there's any unnecessary clenching there that you can soften. And then reach back there and move the balls down a little bit. So maybe they're halfway between the back of the knees and the back of the ankle. You can kind of see here, it's about halfway in between. Now there's less muscle down here. It's less meaty down here. So you might have to reach back and adjust the balls a couple times. But you might also notice that you can shift back a little bit more. And you just kind of have to decide. The more you come forward, the more you offload pressure. The more you go backwards, the more you onload pressure. So I'm back here. I'm going to settle down. I like my feet flat here in position 2, but you could decide if you wanted to tuck the toes. And then once again, we're going to inhale, contract and squeeze those muscles. And exhale, relax. Inhale, squeeze. And exhale, release. And you'll notice, especially in this opening exploration, I'm not rushing the pace of the breath. I'm really allowing myself a few extra beats to kind of notice the base of the exhale and just kind of check in. Have I actually softened all that I can soften, or am I still protecting something? Am I still gripping something? Okay, after a few of those, again, you can start to sway and swing. And so you're dragging the hips out to the right and dragging the hips out to the left. Again, perhaps noticing here where the sensation is the most intense. Are you feeling it more on the hamstrings? Are you feeling it more on the calves? I'm always kind of surprised how much joy is locked up in my hamstrings. Yeah, that's what it is, pure joy. Oh, okay. Last position here, we're going to move down. So the ball is just north of the Achilles. If my Achilles is right here, I'm just up on kind of the bottom edge of the meaty part of my calf, and lo and behold, I've moved up towards the top end of my hamstrings. And so it is a narrow passage here on the back of the lower leg. So you may need to reach back and kind of assure yourself, steady ground, that it's not going to pop out from underneath you. One more time, see if you can inhale, contract, and exhale, relax. Now, you're pretty close to some bone tissue here, right? Because it's not as meaty as it was where you started. So just know that you don't have to drive super aggressively in towards the bone. That'll probably leave you a little bit sore tomorrow. You can always offload pressure by shifting forward a little bit. Squeezing and releasing to start. Steadily breathing. And then maybe you sway the hips side to side. This can be a really nice sequence for people with plantar fasciitis too. Anything you do to unlock the calves can be a helpful component of pain reduction for the plantar fascia. A lot of the muscles on the lower leg, attach on the underside of the feet. Oh, so just wiggling side to side. And if you're really dying to get your heels to the ground in your downward facing dog, this could be a helpful part of your practice as well. You can reach back, you can remove the balls. Oh my goodness. Even kneeling for me is so much more comfortable. But just for fun, if you wanted to check in with your downward dog or your forward fold and see. Oh my goodness, my heels actually touch the ground, and they almost never do that. Not that it's, a necessity, but I feel much more ease down the back of my legs, even as I bend and extend here. You could try a forward fold. Just kind of get a sense of perhaps the extra range. And that, my friends, is it. That's our 2-for-1 back of the calves, back of the hamstrings roll. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out my other videos. Lots of quick and easy little 10-minute self-massage sequences to pair with your yoga practice or your athletic practice. I will see you again soon.